Welcome to 5 and 5 from the One Stop Co-op Shop, where we discuss 5 key elements of a game in about 5 minutes. I'm Michael Kelly, and today we're looking at the Hoplomachus series from Chip Theory Games. Disclaimer that I was sent review copies of this game. The Hoplomachus series includes 3 standalone games, each taking place in the arena in ancient Rome. They were Chip Theory Games' first hit, and each of them includes both competitive play and either solo or co-op, depending on the set. But has Hoplomachus been eclipsed by more recent releases like Too Many Bones or Cloudspire? Let's find out and get to the list. We're going to start with a mix, and that's the variety in the solo and co-op modes across the games. On the positive side, you can get really different experiences depending on which set you get. With the Lost Cities, you get solo or co-op play where your army goes against their many units. In Rise of Rome, it's your army against one giant titan with special abilities. And then in Origins, the smallest release, you play through a series of solo challenges that feel a bit more like a puzzle. Each of these can be great and scratch a very different itch without too much extra rules learning, but the negative is to get all that variety and goodness, you have to track down all the sets, and they're not easy to find and tend to be pretty expensive. My number 4 is also a mix, and that's the army and unit variety in the game. Depending on what set you buy, you're going to get about 2 or 3 armies to play around with, and they do have nice differences with unique champions and some unique units that have their own special abilities. But on the negative side, there are also a ton of repeats across each army, and I get that you kind of need a defender and a ranged archer in each one, but I sort of wish they had gone with more variety like you see in Cloudspire where everything is vastly different. That being said, this might swing back to a full pro for some people, because having the repeats does drastically count down on the number of unique keywords you need to learn, so it makes the game a little bit more accessible and easy. We have a mix again with number 3, and that's how quick and brutal the gameplay can be, basically in all the modes. Many units spawn into the game with only 2 or 3 life, and that's pretty easy to take away with a few attacks. Add on that most units can't move or attack the turn they spawn, and you sometimes have people just being ripped apart the second they appear. This can lead to a rich get richer problem that might not sit well with all players. But on the positive side of this, my games of Hoplomachus have never lasted more than half an hour, and usually they're in like the 15 to 20 minute range. And setup is generally extremely fast, so even if the game goes a little crazy in some way, you can just play again pretty easily. But that again could be a negative for some players. If they want some kind of sprawling tactical experience that takes an hour or more, then you might not get it here. And this is very much related to my number 2, which is another mix that's 4 in a row, and that's the AI in the solo and co-op play and how swingy it can be. In all 3 play modes, you have the opportunity for extreme chance and luck. In Lost Cities, the animal units, which can include the boss, can sometimes just move directly away from you and not be in the battle for a long time. And both the Titans and Solo Challenge boss roll a series of dice to see what they do, which is a really clever, quick-to-resolve AI mechanic, but if they keep on rolling misses on key actions, then they might do little to nothing in the arena, letting you go to an easy win. I'd recommend checking out my 2 playthroughs to see this in action. It kind of went my way one game and went against me the other game. Now again, the games are so darn quick that I don't mind very much. It can add to the fun excitement, but it might bother you, so definitely think before you purchase. But we're finally going to get to something that's not a mix at number 1. It is a full-on pro, and that's how accessible and yet tactical the game is. So the core rules are incredibly simple. You deploy a unit and maybe a tactic onto a unit. You get to move everybody who's been on the board and they can't move into each other, so movement's very simple. Then you get to attack with everyone who has someone in range. But the interplay of the solo and co-op mechanics, how the different bosses or arenas work, and also all the tactics and abilities, which yes, don't have a ton of variety, but have enough to do some fun things. Add that all together and you have an extremely quick to play, extremely easy to learn, but very tactical and engaging experience. Overall, Hoplomachus won't be for everyone. It's tough to find, it's expensive, and for me, it's not Chip Theory's top-tier game. That's Cloudspire. But I think the quick playing time, the quick setup, the ease and accessibility of learning the game, and the huge variety in solo and co-op play and trying out different armies is a ton of fun if you're into a dice-chucking tactical game. Just be aware that games can be short, can be swingy, the boss might steamroll you or do next to nothing, it's all possible. But all that said, I still recommend you try to find the game, at least to give it a play or two, because you might find you love it. Good gaming everyone, and I'll see you at the next stop.